Cherry Lynn, and welcome back to another episode of A Feminine Moment. I'm here with Dixie Amberlyn Forsyth. Hi, Dixie.
Hi, Jerry.
Dixie is the author of Fascinating Womanhood for the Timeless Woman, now an international Amazon bestseller. And we're excited today to talk about feminine style.
See, the four types is dramatic, romantic, sporty, and classy. Sometimes women misunderstand and think that they can't dress feminine because their style isn't really girly, ruffles and lace.
Yeah.
And actually, that wasn't my mother's style either. So, but I don't know whether she consciously recognized it or not, but I noticed the clothes that she was attracted to. And they were feminine, but they weren't classically what you might think of as girly, ruffly, and things like that. Mm-hmm. But there's different styles and ways to be feminine. Some women think that if they wear what we call sporty clothes, then maybe that's not feminine, but it absolutely can be. The number one thing that I suggest is that you make sure that with all your clothes, you contrast men. Emphasize the differences between you and him and men. Mm-hmm. And so, for instance, if you're wearing, if you're real sporty is the one that often gets confused. Because sporty clothing I see as cottons, soft things, spandex, sometimes too with yoga pants and things like that. And comfortable clothes.
And simple silhouettes.
Yeah, but you can focus on the colors, and just make sure that it's different than, you don't say, now which pants are these, mine or my husband's. And is this you don't want to mix it up. You want it to be clear whose is whose, and you can also emphasize it with colors that you pick. Softer colors, colors that maybe he wouldn't wear so much. So
I seem to hear a lot of women say that sporty, they are almost kind of ashamed of sporty, and I think they kind of have to give up with sporty, and then it's not feminine. And I actually think,
oh, that's not true.
I actually think that sporty can be, especially right now, there's so many, we're really lucky to have a lot of wonderful styles available to us now that are, they call it athleisure, that we can use the prints, and I think you said the colors, to use those things, because I think a lot of the ladies that have kids, or maybe they're in a job where they feel like they can't dress up. What is your advice for some of those ladies?
Well, here's a thought too, is just as you were talking, my husband Bob, because I go to the gym and I don't wear these kind of clothes to the gym, I wear athletic clothes. And there's some clothes I have he absolutely loves because they're soft to the touch. He likes to kind of stroke my arm around. That fabric is so soft, he kind of can't resist. And so you can also look for those kinds of fabrics that feel good to touch, for him to touch. And as well, if it feels good for him to touch, it's sure going to feel good when you wear it. So there's nothing wrong with comfortable clothes. That doesn't equal pizza clothes. In timeless, we would probably call it dramatic. And I am not a dramatic person, so I had to think 3 times about getting this top, because this stuff to me, it's sort of like, hey, look at me. Whereas a woman who is attracted to this style more, it doesn't feel that way. Mm-hmm. It feels, yeah, that's me. That's comfortable.
That's my confidence.
To me, too much of this shiny, sparkly stuff makes me feel like I'm trying to get attention.
Yeah.
And that's why I say it's not normally my style, but I love the colors, the jewel colors in this. So I had to think about it, and finally I decided to get it. That's why I got it. But there's different styles that you can be attracted to and wear. And even if you're sort of women that think they're kind of a tomboy type, they may not necessarily be. They may just prefer sporty styles. comfortable, casual, not a lot of prints. Romantic, which is my classic style. I just am kind of a sucker for ruffles. More ruffles more than lace, but even lace. I kind of can't resist. I wish that we could still wear clothes from the 1700s. But anyway, even though they're not very comfortable. Romantic style is the one that a lot of people think of as classically feminine, with maybe ruffles, a lot of details, florals, florals, things like that. And everything in my closet is not romantic style, as you can see by this thing so you're not necessarily all one thing. And classic style, I really like classic style. Which is what my mother preferred. And I use the example of people who are well known enough that you'll know who they are. Jackie Kennedy. Audrey Hepburn wore a lot of classic styles. Melania Trump. I noticed she's in the news all the time. She wears classic style clothes. They're feminine, but they're not a lot of detail on them.
Okay.
Classic styles. And you'll probably fall into one of those predominantly, but you may have a little bit of both of two things. And that's perfectly normal too.
Okay, so we talked about romantic. What about Bohemian? Does that fit in there or no? Does that fit under?
Yeah, Bohemian. I also really like Bohemian style, which I think of as more romantic.
Okay, that's
I do. Some people classify it into its own thing, and that's fine if you want to do that, but it tends towards that. Somebody on the internet, Facebook, it wasn't our group, said the other day they were really mad because they discovered that unisex t-shirts are all man sizes. And I thought, yes, that's the way it is. Androgyny and unisex is actually masculine. But you need to be careful that you don't wear pizza clothes and just say, let's call this athletic.
So for our viewers that maybe aren't as familiar with us, what are pizza clothes?
Okay. Okay, pizza clothes that we've identified in Fast Day Womanhood are clothes that you wear that are ill-fitting, that are maybe stretched out, maybe damaged. The main thing is that they're ill-fitting and old. And it's the way the term came about is the idea is that it's when you look like you gave up and just threw on whatever ugly clothes and ordered a pizza and ate the whole thing and plus a quart of ice cream. The kind of clothes you'd wear if you were to do that, like I give up. And no makeup, messy bun, and just it isn't so much that you have given up, but that you look like I don't care.
So what about bringing up that point about being at home? What about the ladies that are at home all the time, whether you are a mom or not, or maybe you're just at home in the morning, maybe you go to work later and you're around your husband or your boyfriend or something, and you are wearing sweatpants at home? Like, is that something that, what would you suggest the ladies be wearing at home?
Sweatpants can get a bad rap too, because there's attractive ones and hideous ones. So I would say do not own anything that is pizza clothes. I mean, almost everything. No, that's not true. Not everything in my closet is super comfortable, but I have so many clothes that are very comfortable. Even pants have Lycra in them. Jeans have Lycra. Even pretty things have Lycra in them. And I don't know whether women are willing to put up with too many clothes that don't have any stretchability in them as far as pants go, because they're so comfortable. And so there's beautiful clothes that are super comfortable, as comfortable as yoga clothes, that are not pizza clothes, and that are perfectly fine to wear all day. I wish that if Fascinating Womanhood gets big enough, I would love to redesign the t-shirt for women. T-shirts were designed for men, and we just thought, oh, those are comfortable, I like those. But there needs to be a design for women that men wouldn't be caught dead in, that's really comfortable for us. And I know there's some t-shirts that are kind of have more of a shape, but I'm talking more than that, more than just this thing, that
And
look.
at the end of the day, really, it's about wearing something, when you say, that flatters you.
That's a good point. It flatters you and makes you feel pretty, because that's the key. If you get up in the morning and throw something on and you feel not very attractive, then contrast that with how you feel when you put a little bit more effort into it, when you put a little bit of makeup on. And for women who they say their husbands say they don't like makeup, I would add in there that most men don't know much about makeup, and what they probably are describing as too much makeup, where it's really obvious. Would a man know that you're wearing concealer? Probably not. I don't want you to wear any concealer. Would he know would he hate it that you wear a little lip gloss or a little blush in your cheek? That most men are not that sensitive that they would know those things. I think what most men are describing is too much. And so to say, oh, my husband doesn't like makeup, you might experiment a little bit with some things, a little bit of eyeshadow. Remember, makeup was designed to make us look better, younger, better.
What about the ladies that work in fields where it's probably male dominated, maybe not, but they are working very, what's the word I'm looking for? Dirty jobs, I guess is the best way to say it. I've had a lot of ladies on our group say things along those lines of that I can't, go to work with makeup on, or I feel like it will melt off. I've heard that several times. Or I've even heard I can't go out and garden with makeup on. It will melt off.
If I had to drive a semi truck, which to me is sounds very unpleasant, because driving those giant things, especially having to back them up, I don't know how men ever do that. But for women who do things that are, you're probably not going to say women loggers. There's not too many of us that go into the logging business. There's some women that are police officers that have to wear those uniforms that are, by the way, scaled down men's uniforms. They're not designed for us, for our figures or anything. They look attractive on men. They're not particularly flattering on us, but it's what we have to deal with. But those kind of things, if I had to do that, I would contrast the differences with my hair and makeup. I would contrast it wherever I could. I would wear a cute watch, a necklace, or something where I felt definitely female. And I think there's always room for that, because you will feel better about yourself, because we don't need more guys.
I know for me, when I'm doing things, I do a lot of those things. I do a lot of gardening, and I do a lot of, I mow the lawn. Mm-hmm. Very similar to what you're saying. I wear makeup on a regular basis because I just feel like I look better with it. But I do know women that don't need as much, and I think that's great. But even when I go out there and mow the lawn, I'll put on, waterproof mascara, and I'll put my hair in a nice ponytail or something, in a headband. And
how do you feel?
To me, I'm not doing that. I think I could hear a lot of people, I could imagine, I should say, a lot of people watching this and thinking it's very superficial, but it's actually quite the contrary. It's doing it for what I've heard you say many times. It's doing it for your self-esteem. We did a video recently on self-esteem. I think that's a really great one for everyone to watch if you're watching this one, because when I feel like I'm put together a little bit more, and for everyone that's going to be different, right? Everyone's going to have a different level of that. Yeah. I just feel better.
Yeah, and the first time I really became aware of it, conscious of it, was when I was a fairly new mother. I had to have some surgery, and if you've ever had surgery, ever been really sick, and you know how you feel when you've been in bed and you feel gross, you don't feel attractive, you may have a fever, you may have pain, whatever. I contrasted that with how I felt when I showered and got fixed up a little bit. Even if I had to get back into bed, I put on something I thought was pretty, fixed my hair. I thought, I feel better, even though I'm still not healed or still not well, than I did before when I felt sweaty and gross.
Yeah.
And so that actually helps your recovery, is to feel that you look as good as you can under those circumstances.
I have to say too, for the single ladies out there, I know I used to go constantly. I used to work several jobs when I was in college, and I would constantly go to the grocery store on the weekends, get my groceries, and I wouldn't usually dress up because I was exhausted from work. And there was a time where I ran into a guy that I had kind of been interested in. I ran into him at the grocery store, and I looked terrible. And I think we've all been there. We've all probably had that happen to us. And I think just remembering, and it doesn't mean you have to be a glamorous model every time you go to the store, but think about, what if you ran into somebody that you hadn't seen in 10 years? You might want to, I don't know, just feel better about yourself.
It doesn't really take very long. People, I think, the perception is that, oh, I don't have time. If you actually clocked it, how long it takes to do something with your hair or your makeup, or wear something that's comfortable but more attractive, it is, it takes 15 minutes longer. How much time do we spend just perusing? Yeah.
It totally depends on the person. Like, I know as a mom, it can get harder, but for especially some of those ladies out there that do have a little bit more time, just even putting on some waterproof mascara and some powder or something, just brushing your hair nicely. Instead of, I see so many girls right now going to the store in their pajamas, and buns that look like they rolled out of bed. And I just think, like, they can't feel good about themselves. They're
and this feminine moment is not specifically for married women. This is for women, period. Women, teenagers, whatever. Start this when you're young, to take care of yourself and show respect for yourself. And it'll actually help your self-esteem, whether you're married or not. If Bob had to go out of town for a week and I was here every day, I would always do what I do because I feel better. I feel better.
For other people, you do it for you.
Oh yeah, I do it for me, number one, and then for him, number two, because I do it even if he's not here. Yeah. So it's a matter of self-esteem. It's a matter of, kind of how I present myself to myself, even if I stay home.
Now, let me ask you this. What about the ladies out there? I've heard this several times, and I've even heard this in my group of friends, some of my group of friends. What about the ladies out there who's, you got together and you do this every day, you're doing this for yourself and you're getting dressed, but your spouse or your boyfriend they wear pizza clothes, and they maybe say, why are you all dressed up? How would you respond to that? And maybe those ladies might be thinking, when is he going to get the message? When is he going to get the message not to wear pizza clothes? Like, he keeps wearing pizza.
I'm glad you brought that up. I don't have that issue. Bob has never been a pizza clothes guy. Yeah. But what I would do is, if my husband, if I was in that situation, he said, why do you always dress up? Just say, it makes me feel good. I like it.
Yeah.
And then if, you accept him at face value. And did he always wear pizza clothes? When you get him a gift, you could get him something that you like, that he would wear. But if he, that you feel like he might wear, maybe it isn't a button-down shirt, but maybe it's a shirt that has a little bit more style, is in a real pretty color or something like that. Huh?
It's not
stained. Not stained.
The answer to that is accepting him for who he is, and that he wants to wear those. But if you have the opportunity to maybe give him something nice to replace it with, then go for it.
If you give him a gift of something, I just thought this would look great on you, and then you admire him. Boy, you look really great.
That's perfect.
That is that's being more of an influence than trying to manipulate him. But if he says you're dressing up too much, just say, it makes me feel good. I like it.
Okay. Thinking about all the single ladies for some reason. One of the things too with the single ladies that are doing online dating, I think it's important to get ready for your online, like your chats. I think it will help you to feel when you're talking to that person that that you feel confident, and it will show. I swear that it will show when you're dressed up. You know how they say when you have a phone interview, you dress up for it because it will show through the phone interview. I think that applies. Don't you think?
I do. And I'm really glad you brought that up, because not only that, it'll give you more confidence in yourself, but help you to have more self-esteem, to not put up with inappropriate behavior on their part. If you're dating someone online and he's not treating you 100% appropriately, you will put up with less if you feel good about the way you look.
Well, this has been really great. I think this has been fun to talk about. I know I had fun talking about it. And thank you so much for all of your advice. And for everyone watching, thank you so much. And I will put links down below to purchase Dixie's book, where you can read all about feminine style, the chapter that she has on that, as well as links to join us on social media, where we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can see all of the information down below. And we're here every Friday, so don't forget, if you have any questions, maybe you have questions about your feminine style, comment down below, and we would love to answer your questions.
Yes.
See you next time.
Sherry. Okay. Bye.